today on Classroom Dynamics.
And it's like, I still remember that today because that was like, okay, like I wish I had just something physical that I could give someone like this lovely girl and really to anybody to really teach them how to control those feelings of anxiety, those feelings of stress when you have that kind of buildup of tension and no real point of release. I wanted to make something that was going to work in seconds.
Welcome to the place where ideas collide. Adam Todd's here to be your guide. For teachers and techies, chasing the spark. Classroom dynamics, where we leave our mark. Let's dive in deep, the future's bright. Innovation shines like morning light. Teachers and tech, hand in hand we go. Welcome to the Classroom Dynamics Show.
Classroom Dynamics is sponsored in part by Logitech Education, empowering student voice and creativity with innovative tools like the Logitech Reach Adjustable Content Camera and the Zone Learn headset designed specifically for student comfort and focus. Discover how Logitech is transforming classrooms at logitech.com/education. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, the podcast where we unlock the future of education. Hi everybody, I'm your host Adam Todd, and on today's show we're exploring a unique approach to social emotional well-being that might just surprise you. So imagine this, what if a stuffed animal could help reduce stress and anxiety? Well, it can. Meet Turbobo, a comforting therapy dog in plush form designed to support both kids and adults through life's emotional ups and downs. Joining us today is Ryan Mealy, the innovative mind behind Turbobo and a student at Brown University. Inspired by the deep connection with his own childhood dog Turbo, Ryan developed this cuddly companion packed with 5 subtle yet clinically backed tools to promote mental wellness. Whether in classrooms, therapy sessions, or college dorms, Turbobo is making a real impact from an unlikely source, one hug at a time. And it's all coming up next on Classroom Dynamics, so don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Tired of drowning in paperwork? With Your Way Learning's AI-powered platform, you can automate lesson planning, grading, and parent communications while keeping you at the center. Our built-in chat assistant Beans helps craft differentiated, standards-aligned material in seconds. Fully customizable and grounded in learning science, Your Way saves time and deepens student engagement. Teach your way. For more, visit yourwaylearning.com.
Struggling with bedtime routines, school stress, or big emotions at home? Meet Turbobo, the therapeutic stuffed animal with calming features like weighted pressure, aromatherapy, and sensory zones designed to help kids relax, focus, and feel safe.
Parents love it, and now schools can try Turbobo free for 3 weeks. If you're a teacher or principal, visit turbobo.co or email info@turbobo.co to request a no-cost classroom pilot. Full permission from your school leadership is required.
Joining us today is Ryan Mealy, the founder of Turbobo and current student at Brown University. He's on a mission to tackle anxiety with an unexpected hero, an adorable therapeutic stuffed dog called Turbobo. Ryan, thanks for being here. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics. I can't wait to get into this conversation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So there's always a story behind the story, and Turbobo is a personal experience for you. So let's start at the beginning. How did the idea for Turbobo first come to life, and what inspired you to turn your personal experience with your real-life dog Turbo into something that you could help others with, especially kids?
Yeah, so there's really 2 sides of how I got into Turbobo and why I even launched it. The first one was in high school. I did a lot of volunteering with different kind of organizations within my own town and community. I'm originally from Rye, New York, so right on the border of Rye and Connecticut. And in that, there was a lot of work with elderly homes, schools in the summers, in addition to kind of autism-related support institutions. And across the board, there was just this common sense of overwhelming anxiety. I still remember at one event, we do something called Together We Shine, which is where we put on a prom for the autism kind of support institution, and all the kind of clients come together, they get dressed up, they have like a real prom experience that some of them might not have otherwise had. And during that event, I was at the door helping people in, and one girl came up to me and said, "I don't know where my date is. My date stood me up." and it was a very, very scary situation for this lovely girl. But at the same time, she could just visually see how distressed she was. You could see the constant fidgeting with the hands, not knowing what to do with her own body, and even using verbal threats where, to me, like, if you don't get my date here, I'm gonna punch you. And it's like, I still remember that today, because that was like, okay, like, I wish I had just something physical that I could give someone like this lovely girl, and really to anybody, to really teach them how to control those feelings of anxiety, those feelings of stress. When you have that kind of buildup of tension and no real point of release, I wanted to make something that was going to work in seconds. So that was a big piece.
And that kind of also puts a little anxiety and pressure on you, because you, as the person receiving that from her, probably didn't really feel comfortable and know what to do yourself.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I even talked to the service provider there. I'm like, can I have some help? What's going on here? And they're like, oh, just give it 10 minutes. She'll calm down. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I think I could do a little better than give somebody 10 minutes. So I kind of put it down that path. And then what really kind of put over the top for me for why into school specifically was the fact that in 7th grade, I had a lot of friends really struggle with mental health. And it's something that is talked about, but honestly not talked about enough. And it's something that my generation is constantly kind of battling in this, especially post-COVID era. Just anxieties are an all-time high, and there's feelings of depression, loneliness, all of it. It got so bad that one of my friends actually got pulled out of school one day out of self-harm intervention. So if you can imagine a middle school student, 7th grader, my friend's getting pulled out, not really sure what to do, very scary situation. So that was also kind of the nudge I took to really launch this into a real support company. Is the whole idea is, how do you create this physical tool that you can introduce as early as elementary school to give them that kind of personalized experience on how to manage that anxiety, and really give them the tools and resources they need, so hopefully they don't end up like a couple of my friends did. So that's kind of a two-pronged approach to why Turbobo means a lot to me and why I even started it.
Meaningful and lots of levels there, and lots of places this could actually go for you.
Absolutely.
So Turbobo isn't just a plush toy. Let's put, that we have to put that out there first. It's not just a toy. It's not a toy, teachers. Okay. I've used it. I've seen it. It includes 5 therapeutic features. So walk us through what those therapeutic features are, how they work, how they support mental wellness. How does that all come together?
Yeah. So one piece of anxiety, just to mention to start, is when you feel anxious, you get a number of symptoms in your physiologically, and that's what kind of makes you feel really uncomfortable and not know what to do. And the whole point of anxiety is, honestly, it's an evolutionary flaw in humans, because it's that fight or flight response that we're born with. But anxiety is where we're stuck in the middle, where your brain is, there is trouble, but it's nothing I can fight and it's nothing I can run away from. So what do I do? And that's what gets you that feeling of tense anxiety, stress. And the whole point on how to reduce that in seconds with support tools like Turbobo is to leverage these different kind of features of it. I use the 5 Thrive kind of features to really build out every opportunity someone needs to get that support from a lot of different senses. So how you trick the brain is you trick the brain to focusing on one sense, and therefore it takes it out of that kind of middle area between fight or flight. So
you're not so much painted into the corner anymore. Now you have room to move.
Yep. And you have a chance to use all these different features. So everybody has what works best for them. If you even is thinking about if you have a relative and you give each other a hug, that 5 seconds, you give a nice strong hug, you're going to feel more relaxed because of that weighted pressure on your chest. So the 5 features of Turbobo, it has a weighted body, you have a fidget tail, you have a tactile fidget ear, and then you have 2 zippered pockets in its ears for things like a gel pack, which change the temperature. You could cool it or heat it. And the other one takes in pure grade allergen-free aromatherapy, like lavender, for example. So why is that special, and why is that going to be revolutionary? Is because you can use all 5 of those features at once. And that's kind of the draw of Turbobo, and that's why it's the most effective thing out there currently, because you can have the weight on your chest, which lowers your heart rate, tricks your brain into slowing down the rhythm, and therefore it gives it that second of clarity. You also have fidgets like an abrasive Velcro if you're someone who needs more of that kind of strong touch, or a beaded tail for someone who just likes to softly play with other kind of sensory tools. And then on top of that, you get the temperature. So if you have, let's say you cool the ear, it's a little gel pack you take out, you put it back in the ear, you put that on your forehead, your vagus nerve. That's going to trick your whole brain into focusing on that feeling of coldness. And you can do that with an ice cube, even if you just have it around your house and try it out. And you'll see that you're actually going to snap out of whatever you were thinking about, because your brain's now forced to think about that cold feeling of the ice cube. And the last one is aromatherapy for those olfactory senses. It kind of releases those feel-good chemicals in your brain to give you another point of release. So Turbobo really tries to combine all these 5 features so you can actually use all of them at once. And that's what allows you to snap out of feelings of anxiety within really seconds to a minute.
So a kid that's going through crisis for whatever the reason in school, whatever the age, all the way up, this is something that they could use to bring them back down, calm them, take their fears away, lower that anxiety, and move on.
Exactly correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more with Ryan, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Classroom Dynamics is supported by Higher Ground Gear, featuring the Shuttle 3.0 CS laptop case. Built for students on the move, the Shuttle 3.0 offers 24/7 protection by letting you work directly out of the case. Just open it and go. Its sleek molded design keeps laptops cool, secure, and always ready. And with shock-absorbing corners for drop defense, a grip deck, corner straps to hold your device in place, and clean shell fabric that resists spills and wipes down easily to fight germs, it's protection that never quits. For more, visit hggear.com today. Attention educators, meet the Logitech Zone Learn, the classroom headset designed for learners and built for schools. Engineered for comfort and durability, the Zone Learn delivers crystal clear audio, helping students focus and fully engage during lessons, group projects, and online learning. Built to last, its modular design adapts to any classroom setting and ensures a reliable, distraction-free learning experience. With Zone Learn, your students can hear the difference, which helps boost learning. For more information, visit logitech.com/Zone Learn.
Every student deserves a chance to succeed. At Catapult Learning, we close learning gaps through targeted tutoring, direct student support, and proven intervention programs. Our proprietary curriculum and our ability to customize with your district's materials ensure every child gets the instruction they need when they need it. For 45 years, Catapult's evidence-based model has transformed schools in New York City and across the nation. Catapult Learning, inspiring students, unlocking potential. For more information, visit us at catapultlearning.com.
Welcome back to Classroom Dynamics. So we're talking with Ryan Mealy from Turbobo. What kind of research or clinical testing went into developing Turbobo, and how has it shaped the way you design the product for different age groups? Because let's be honest, a pre-K student is going to be a whole different ballgame compared to a 5th grade student.
Yeah, so it all started my senior year of high school. That's when the research phase started. And what I did was I researched anxiety in general and how to best solve it for about a year. And then I launched Turbobo after that period. And what happened was I actually ended up cold calling a bunch of professors at leading universities and their psychology departments. Just kind of this little high school kid just reaching out and hoping for the best. Really,
you had the business sense going for you already. The business sense was there. I love it.
So exactly, I had no business reaching out to these chairs of psychology at like UPenn, Yale, Harvard, all of them. Fun and not surprisingly, all of them said, "I'm not giving you a second of my time. I don't even know you."
Really?
Except
Wow.
for one. We had Dr. Oligar Villa. I still remember him. He was a psychology chair at Harvard, and this guy, literal cold call. He picked up the phone and he spoke to me for about an hour and a half. And
Wow.
it was very generous of him. And he really laid out exactly what anxiety is, which we talked a little about before, and kind of what are the 5 features on how to get the different senses working to really reduce it. So that's kind of the research level went into it. And how it started was I first ended up getting an everyday stuffed dog that I found in one of my little cousin's rooms. And I took scissors to it and I just made it a little Frankenstein thing. But it had all the working features I wanted. It had the scent, it had the temperature change, it had the weight, it had the fidgets, but it looked really bad. So I first wanted to see, all right, how is this going to work? So I sent out about 5 of these guys to different organizations that I previously volunteered with in high school, elderly homes, schools, the autism-related support center, all of it, and really across the age range to see exactly where it helped. And in that time, they had it for about a 3-month period to just pilot it for free, see how it worked. And at the end of it, they filled out a data survey, and it showed that 97% said as teachers it made their jobs easier. And about 90% said they even saw an improvement in the quality of schoolwork that their students did as a result of even having this kind of SEL student support tool in their possession while they're reading and doing math. So that was for K through 12, I mind you. So that was one to an elementary school, one to a middle school, one to a high school. So with that kind of armed with that data and that knowledge of it's actually making a positive impact, it led me to really create a very kind of a company around it and have a full scale manufacturing and all the logistics that go with it. And it really was kind of an experience of trial and error, but it really landed that it was a tool that no matter how old you are, I have parents who will buy it for themselves and say it's for their kids. But I've heard feedback that the 60-year-old parent who just likes to have something while they watch TV will have that on their lap, will have it when they go to bed. It's everybody has the same physiological response to anxieties. So it is basically ageless in how it will support.
Right. It's just you're talking about just different levels of that anxiety in terms of where you are in your life, right? A kindergarten kid is probably very anxious. I remember being very anxious being in kindergarten, being afraid to go to school because I was afraid to make mistakes at age 5 or 6, whatever I was at kindergarten. And something like that would have been nice. But those kind of anxiety levels are a whole lot different than a kid in, let's say, their junior year of high school who's looking to get ready to start applying for college. So you have all these different levels, yet it does fit into that keyhole all the same.
Yeah, and it's even you'll find that different age groups like the different features. So for a kindergartner, they'll just like the weight. They're just gonna want to hold it and that's it. For a kid in a junior year in high school, they might like the abrasive tactile of the fidget ear because that's just different stimulating a piece of your body when you grow and everybody changes. And it really just has the options to really tailor to whatever anybody needs.
Right. Now, there's also a technology component to all this for teachers. So how does that technology component play a role for teachers specifically? What do they have to do to get started if they're starting the program, and what can it do for them and their class?
Yeah, so it's part of a Turbobo SEL kind of curriculum and setting. So how it would work is a school would typically get a Turbobo support dog in every one of their classrooms and offices. And then accompanying that is an online teachers SEL platform where it has a large library of about, I think it's 50 CASEL aligned SEL activities for the classroom, ranging from about 10 to 20 minutes. Then you have a library of grade appropriate mini books and adventure story books for the SEL kind of components and details that have corresponding worksheets. So you can really track how answers might change throughout the year, in addition to really getting a wide array of common kind of points of stress and anxiety that you'll see in school and even life, as it really is kind of a whole child philosophy that Turbobo SEL is founded on. And finally, it has that mindfulness video section where it's a library of guided meditations, things to kind of build community, reduce chronic absenteeism, and even reduce test-taking anxiety. So it really is supposed to be a comprehensive tool that has resources that a teacher can simply click play on a 2-minute video and have that for those transition periods, have it easily fit into their schedules to make their jobs easier, but also create a very exciting and engaging SEL kind of adventure with Turbobo that students will take throughout the year.
So I was just going to ask, does that always go back to the theme of Turbobo, or is it almost standalone?
So it's a lot of the activities for those classrooms are based on the physical dog. That's what kind of makes it unique, is that you have that physical touch point that a student can actually hold the tool and really make it so it's gonna be effective in their kind of SEL activities, and also give them the kind of motivation to even want to be curious enough to want to learn as students, because it has to do with this classroom pet that they've come to love. But then the other stuff like the videos and the mini books, that's more for everybody.
So you're really combining that digital world with that three-dimensional real life experience.
Yes, exactly.
I want to go back for a second because you touched upon the 5 Thrive before, which is that set of sensory tools that's designed specifically to support wellness. Let's give teachers some insight into the program a little bit deeper now. So how does the teacher, or even a parent, because we mentioned parents sometimes get it for themselves or their own families, how do they choose when to use each of those 5 Thrive features?
Yeah, so part of the activities on the SEL kind of platform platform will engage different parts of the Turbobo. So one of them is like you have like a set of aromas and it's like a smell test. Another one's like a show and tell. Like you have to really present which pieces of Turbobo make you feel this way and why. And that's part of like the research component to it. So how they'll use the kind of 5 Thrive features is they'll use it in either the classroom setting where they'll have like a reset corner or something like that, where a student can go if they're having an outburst or maybe have a little too much energy even after recess or lunch, and they really give them to about 2 or 3 minutes, and they usually have them sit with Turbobo, let the student kind of feel around, experience it. They'll be drawn to the different features that work for them. So it really doesn't really put any kid into a box like, oh, you have to use the ear, but don't touch the tail. It's really just what they will naturally go to, and what's going to actually help them calm down very quickly. So you'll either use it in that way and kind of like a as needed basis. You can use it as almost like a talking piece in the morning meetings, even to reduce kind of that parent anxiety for younger students when they first arrive at school. I know that's like a nightmare for a lot of schools in the fall, is those youngest pre-Kers and kindergartners have a really hard time saying bye to mom and dad sometimes. And
the kicking and screaming is a real thing. It really is.
I can imagine. And then now you have a physical tool as they're kicking and screaming. Oh, can you just hold the puppy? And then seconds, it will snap them out of that kind of anxiety fit for losing their mom. And it's gonna be like, oh, what's this? And then they're able to re-engage. So it really is meant to be used in a kind of proactive setting, but also as a response to any student who might need a little extra support during that day.
How do they clean it? I've heard that a lot from teachers. Like, how do I clean it?
So the best way to do it is you're going to use a Clorox wipe to disinfect, take off very light topical stains, dirt, smudges, things like that. If there is a deeper stain, like even a Sharpie, or maybe a teacher spills their coffee on the back of it by accident, you can take like an over-the-counter OxyClean or a Shout spray, and you can spray the affected area and get a towel and rub it out. I wouldn't recommend putting it in a washing machine. You'd be the first to try. If you do, let me know how that works. But I recommend doing the kind of the spot clean like that, and with a little bit of care, maybe once or twice every other week, that it'll stay immaculate forever.
You're a student at Brown University, and by the way, I mean, you're definitely well ahead of your years for sure. All this mission-driven work, your company that you're doing, your student work, the entrepreneurship at your age, how do you personally manage all this stuff together?
Yeah, so that all comes down to time management. Might sound like a very simple thing that we all talk about, but you don't really understand the importance of it until you're in it.
It's definitely a life skill, right? It's something that you got to be good at.
100%. And even in high school, I was probably the worst time manager. I'd be a procrastinator. I'd put things off like everybody else. But now now in this setting where you have all these kind of different things pulling me in these directions at school with athletics. I'm on the D1 water polo team at Brown as well. On top of the business and studies, and even the social component. I mean, you can't be locked in a library all day. All of it really requires you to really maximize where you spend your time and really make it efficient. So every morning when I wake up, I have on my calendar, I literally map out the slots that I have for what. So classes this time, practice this time. Between here, Turbobo. At night, schoolwork. And then if I finish anything early, then friends. So it really is a game of maximizing your time each day. But honestly, it is very achievable. I never feel like it's too much. I never feel overwhelmed. I feel that it's enough to keep me busy all day. I do like to stay busy, so I guess that's an advantage for me. But it is something that anybody can really do. And as soon as you kind of make that switch in your mind where I don't have time for this, and you start saying, I'm like, how do I make time for this? It's just transformative on what you'll be able to accomplish every day.
You're basically taking the real life of only having like 30 seconds to sleep at night and melding that together with your Turbobo, because that's the only thing that's going to bring that anxiety down with all that you're doing. That is amazing. I mean, that you do have to be good at time management. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. and not afraid to have a can-do attitude.
That's true. Well, listen, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up with Ryan Mealy of Turbobo. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. Are you juggling lesson planning, grading, and keeping students engaged all while running out of hours in the day? If so, Brisk is here to help. Brisk is an AI-powered education platform that supports teachers, students, and schools at every stage, from planning and instruction to feedback and practice. The best part? Brisk works wherever you are. The Brisk extension brings support into the tools that you already use, and the new Brisk Next web experience gives you a hub for planning, bundling resources, and sharing assignments with ease. With Brisk Boost, safe AI for students, you can create interactive charts like debates, exit tickets, and character conversations that deepen learning. Ready to try Brisk? Go to briskteaching.com, click the Get Started button, and install the extension. Plus, enjoy 3 months of premium features free at brisk-teaching.com/Adam-Todd today.
Looking to spark excitement in your classroom and save time? Head over to Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers. From engaging lesson plans to creative lap books and test prep tools, these resources are designed to inspire learning and take the planning stress off your plate. Highly Motivated, motivating teaching resources that engage and inspire. For more, search Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers today.
Welcome back. From daycare centers to college campuses, Turbobo is finding a home in so many different environments. What has been the response been like from educators and even students? What's that feedback that you're getting on a daily basis?
So there's a huge list of testimonials if someone's interested to Google turboboscl.com. But I always, whatever I do with Turbobo is any school in the US has a chance to pilot it completely free. So if this is something that sounds interesting to them, I want them to try it because I think that it is going to be transformative. It's been phenomenal for hundreds of schools up until this point, and it's something that I really want. It's a passion project. So I want it to work for you. Otherwise, I want someone else to have it because they'll get more out of it. So it is an opportunity to pilot it completely free for 3 weeks. And if you like it, you buy it. If you don't, you send it back. Really no downside. But the one caveat is to every pilot, I make everybody fill out data surveys on how they experienced it. So even if they don't buy it, which I've yet to get a return from a pilot, which is pretty awesome. But it really gives me the data on how they're using it, what they're getting out of it. It's been nothing short of transformative. I always think of one school in New York City, especially PS 79Q. It's in District 25. I think they were the second school ever to be like, I'm going to give this kid a chance. Let me try Turbobo. And since then, they have about, I want to say 120 of these guys running around their school. They have the curriculum, and they are a massive Title I school in New York City, very phenomenal community that they have a lot of support for. And it's just, it's amazing. Anybody who walks in, I get feedback from the principal, the social worker, the counselor, the teachers are bringing it to the teacher meeting. Every teacher's just holding it because they're enjoying it.
I've seen that in my school too. I have seen it.
I love it. And then the kids, they're making dog beds, they're making outfits for their Turbobo, they're naming it, they're making adoption certificates, and they're really making it a class pet and experience that a whole school buys into. And as a result, the data behind it's been ridiculous. Kids are doing better in school. There are less outbursts. The social worker says she has less students coming into her office who are in crisis. It's just an immediate kind of game changer for that kind of community. And it's just been absolutely nothing short of amazing on how the Turbobo really kind of makes that focus come alive in the students and give them a kind of passion and love for their classroom pet while not even knowing that it has all these benefits that they're learning along the way.
And you don't have to feed it.
And there's no mess too. You don't have to potty train it.
Those are some great ideas, creating clothing and birth certificates. I didn't even think of that. Those are great ideas, teachers. And especially those teachers that have Turbobo and you haven't done something like that. That's a great idea, especially in the beginning of the year, right? You're bringing classroom community together anyway. So you might as well bring it all together in one package like that.
Yeah, I've heard reports of a couple schools in the first week of school in the all school assembly, they have an adoption ceremony where every year they bring the Turbobos on the stage, they line them up, and the principal comes in and says, classroom 312, here is your Turbobo and here's an adoption certificate. Please name him and return the certificate to me. So it's like all the kids go crazy. It's like little stuffed animals. So you can really, you get out of it what you want to put in. And if a whole community buys in, it'll be transformative. I can promise that.
That's a great way to bring the excitement to it as well, especially when you're launching a program.
Exactly.
So, I mean, have you thought of things like even Shark Tank? I mean, I could totally see this blowing up with Mr. Wonderful in there. Oh my God.
Yeah, Shark Tank, probably not. I mean, maybe not now. They are a little what's the word? Very sharky in their evaluations. But it's something that is right now it's doing phenomenal as just a real passion project to see how many people to help along the way. But if at ever point it could ever get to that point, but for now, I think we're going to keep building organically and getting that kind of feedback and let schools really experience it for themselves.
That's the best way to do it. You have a nice head on your shoulders. I think you're handling this just fine, especially with all the extra anxiety that comes along with the program of putting it together for other people. So kudos to you guys. Listen, thank you for sharing your journey and the heart behind Turbobo. It's clear you're not just building a business, you're actually building a movement for mental wellness and connection. So here's to more hugs, healing, and hope, one Turbobo at a time for you. Before we go, tell everyone where they can go to find out more about you specifically, how to get their own Turbobo for their class, and how teachers can get started.
Yeah, so you can always go to Turbobo, turbobo.co, so .co. That'll be the website that anybody can purchase online. They'll be shipped right to your door or to your school. If you want to interested in doing a pilot program for your entire school community, there's also on that same website a chance to submit an email request and say you're just interested in piloting, would like to speak more, and we can set up a Zoom with more info and stuff like that after. If you want to take a peek at the SEL curriculum component, that is at a different website. It's turbobosel.com. That'll also have some data and testimonials behind it of its success in the hundreds of schools that have found it to be very effective.
Awesome. I'm very excited for this. I hope this really takes off after this episode comes out because you're just doing a great job. I really have to say, with SEL and the whole movement, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Adam.
Well, for those of you who have been listening, thank you for tuning in today, and make sure that you share what you've learned or any takeaways or reflections that you've had, and tag us on X at Class Dynamics or Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. You can also find out all of our links, including information about our sponsors, on our link tree at Classroom Dynamics. We always look forward to hearing your thoughts on our episodes and sharing the different ways in which you're using what you've learned. You can also help support Classroom Dynamics with as little as $3 a month at classroomdynamicspodcast.buzzsprout.com. Once again, I'd like to thank Ryan Mealy, the founder of Turbobo, for joining us today on Classroom Dynamics. Thanks for the time. Best of luck. This is an amazing program.
Yep. Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate it.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Classroom Dynamics. I hope today's conversation sparked something meaningful for you, maybe a new idea, a fresh perspective, or just a little boost of motivation to take back to your classroom. Remember, it's never too late to strengthen your craft, and if there's ever a moment to re-energize your work, why not make it today? I'm Adam Todd, and you've been listening to Classroom Dynamics, a teacher podcast. Follow us on X at Class Dynamics and on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. If you haven't already, go to your favorite podcast platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. We'll be back soon with more captivating conversations, inspiring stories, and strategies that you can implement into your everyday routines. Until then, keep that spark alive and never underestimate the incredible impact you have as an educator. You're more powerful and inspirational than you think. Did you miss our Recycling Revolution episode with Ryan Hickman? Well, if so, in this inspiring episode, we sat down with 15-year-old Ryan Hickman, a recycling advocate and founder of Ryan's Recycling and Project 3R, a non-for-profit organization dedicated to recycling and environmental awareness and education around the world. Discover how a simple trip to a recycling center sparked Ryan's mission to save the planet one bottle and can at a time. So get ready to be informed and inspired by Ryan's incredible story and powerful message.
Well, I always tell people, like I said earlier, just start small. Every little bit makes a big difference. So if you see a piece of trash on the ground, pick it up. I do beach cleanups every weekend. You don't need to live near a beach to make a difference. Clean up a park, a gutter in your street, a local community area. Like I go camping sometimes, I always bring a trash grabber, gloves, and a bag and pick up trash there. It's not matter where you are, just pick up a little trash. It makes a big difference. I always try telling people that. And I just hope people are inspired and learn and want to help out the planet.